Good morning, millennials, and welcome back to The Toast. Happy Thursday. That has very Friday energy to it, not in the good sort of celebratory weekend way, in the very conclusive kind of way.
Yeah, in the way that like tomorrow when we wake up, we're going to realize that it's still a weekday and that's going to be hard. And what's going to make it harder is knowing that my turdy's not down the hall and up the stairs for me.
Yeah.
And she's... Even though we're miles and miles and miles apart.
You're probably wondering, like, wow, Turdy, you look so ugly today. And that's because I'm getting on an airplane. Like, I wasn't giving full glam for The Toast. I'm sorry.
I wasn't thinking that.
No, I'm talking to the viewers.
They weren't thinking it either. You're too hard on yourself. What they're probably thinking is, oh, what's that sweatshirt Turdy wearing? Is that merch that I missed? No, it's merch that was never released because we weren't sure if people would want it.
This sort of creamsicle color.
Like, I love a creamsicle, but I also know, like, I have Pliny in my DNA and not everybody does.
No, let me tell you, I am wearing it today. And I've worn it a few times because all I wear is merch when I'm down at your house. And let me say, I think we made the right call. Like, I'm not loving it.
I think we made the right call. I think some people would have bought it, but it wouldn't have been gangbusters. But I'm glad that we made a sample so that I have it and I can wear it when I'm feeling creamy.
I have so much to say today. I have lots of thoughts on things.
Okay, I'll give you the floor.
First is that there's a story we're going to talk about that, like, seriously, I don't know if I've been so excited to, like, dissect a story, Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster, like, in so long.
Okay, I'm not going to say anything about it because that's a story.
The second thing is two things. Like, I need to comment on influencer culture really quickly, okay? Because we're obviously getting into the time, make a plan, right? Bring a snack. And I have to say, like, the influencers are influencing. They are doing what needs to be done. Like, I think we're right on track for literally every single one of your favorite influencers. If they're not doing an endorsement, they are doing
like a vote.
Use this link to make a plan, find an elderly neighbor to take with you, bring a snack, and don't forget an umbrella.
Right.
But the influencers are doing something that I think we speak about every year, but this year in particular is actually really bothering me. And I am saying exclusively to influencers because I haven't seen celebrities doing it yet, but like people are already getting started with Halloween.
Wait, Halloween's next week?
No, like already doing stuff, like costumes and stuff.
Oh. Are you talking about Jake Shane?
You know what? I am talking about Jake Shane. Seriously, and I feel like I can say this because I love him and like, we don't know what we're doing yet for Halloween, but like we were maybe thinking of doing something like similar to what he did, like in terms of like Pop Girls. Now he went and did it literally 8 days before Halloween. Like that's not fair.
No, and also like, so what is he going to be doing on actual Halloween?
Probably busy. That's why he like released it. Like good on you for planning, but like
I agree with you. Like Halloween is not. Well, I guess people are going to be celebrating Halloween this weekend. Some people, like what parties are, we're going to start seeing costumes this weekend and we'll have to accept that. But for like the worker bees to be doing their Halloween content right now. I also
saw like James Charles, like they're making their like you get dressed up for Halloween and go to a party. But as an influencer, you also get dressed up and like do a photo shoot and then like take it all off and go home. And so I'm starting to see some of the photo shoots roll out.
Too soon.
And I feel like because I have a great relationship with Jake Shane, like I can call him out and letting him know, like you need to do less.
Yeah, you're making the rest of us look bad. And
people keep saying Jackie and Claudia haven't discussed like what this is the first year where we still don't know what we're being.
Usually by this point we know what we're being. We have some ideas floating around, but obviously none of them is like
powerful enough to just
for us to call it.
Yeah.
So I think that is also a reason why like what Jake Shane did is
even more hurtful.
Bothersome.
Yeah. I feel like we've been talking about Jake Shane a lot.
Just because in the vlog, if you're...
We thought we saw Jake Shane at the beach the other day.
We definitely saw Jake Shane's older brother.
Cousin, yeah.
We definitely did.
So that's what the influencers are getting up to. And then like, I've kind of reached like a breaking point yesterday. I'm having this like sort of weird like relationship with my phone these days. Like, it makes me sick. Usually like my bed rotting time where I could literally spend like 2 hours before bed just scrolling different apps like is my greatest joy. And it's actually making me sick these days.
Mentally or physically?
Mentally. That's a good question. It's also making me physically ill. Like the whole thing, I just kind of like, I'm feeling like I'm rejecting my phone. Like I'm just like, whenever I go downstairs to like hang out with you and the kids, I'm like, you know, I'm literally leaving my phone up here. I don't want to be with it. Like,
yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out like what that has to do with. And I do think a lot of it has to do with the election. Like I'm just so sick of hearing about people who aren't me. Like it's enough already.
Yeah. Well, it's less than 2 weeks, right?
Yeah. It's just like, I've had enough. Like Kamala this, Trump that. Like what about me? Like
what about Turdy?
I'm seriously sick of it.
I understand.
No, and like the podcast wars being like so a part of this election and nobody came knocking at our doors. Like I feel sick.
We didn't put ourselves in the fight, but we kind of hoped that someone would ask us to
come
join.
Knocking. Yeah, because like we couldn't go out and pitch people, but if somebody came to us, like we would have, no matter who it was, like we would have had no choice and we would have done it.
Yeah, but they would have to come into my house and sit in front of the flamingos.
Oh, you would want them to fly down to Toast HQ?
I just feel like that would be hysterical.
I also feel like
and if we had a presidential candidate in my house,
I also think it would be like the security team for whatever presidential candidate would actually prefer that. This is like much more secure than like a hotel with like 1 million people. It's just your house.
Right. I mean, I guess there's still 2 weeks and people are still doing stuff. Now the Veeps are really hitting the circuit. I saw on the comedy charts, Tim Walz and JD Vance.
By the way, if you looked at the comedy charts this week, it was JD Vance, Tim Walz, Jackie's, Era's tour, Jackie's version.
Yeah.
Just,
That feels right.
Though. 3 icons, yeah.
So maybe a Veep will reach out to us. But again,
by the way,
it's not fair for us to complain because we've done zero outreach and like we haven't even put ourselves in the game. However, like if a toaster working on a campaign listens to the toast, like she would have known that we were open.
Okay, I just want to say, so I did like a little bit of research. I actually might have even forgotten to tell you this. I do know that there is a toaster like pretty high up on one of the campaigns. Not the VP, the P.
Can you tell me which one? Oh.
Yeah, I looked at her Instagram. Like I was just doing recon to see if like anybody, like are we just like making stuff up or like are we actually maybe like our name was definitely floated across a couple desks. Like I'm sorry, I have to believe that it was. And then I saw this swirly who's like head of comms or whatever was following us. So yeah, no, it's just like interesting.
It's not meant to be.
So I am sick of it. Like I've really had enough.
Okay, well there's still 2 more weeks. Probably going to be like the most volume in these next 2 weeks.
It's like enough already.
And then hopefully it will be quiet. However, speaking of the podcast Presidential Wars, Trump is on Joe Rogan today.
That's like, it's like the podcast wars are just like kind of over, you know? Like once Joe Rogan stepped in, it's like, hope you kids had fun up until now.
Right. It's funny that when Kamala did
Call her
daddy, we're like, will Trump do the toast?
Will Trump do the toast? No, he went straight to Joe Rogan.
He'll do Joe Rogan.
I wonder if he went to Joe Rogan's studio.
100%.
You have to think about the security of these things, though. You know, one time I happened to have been, not to make everything about me, in the Secret Service bubble. So like wherever the president goes, they create a bubble. Like I don't know what the actual radius is. It's probably like a mile, like around, where like every building is totally secure. And there was a fundraiser in my old building. Like a very rich person lived in my building. There was a fundraiser for Biden while he was president. Well, he still is, but
I think
he was.
The radius wouldn't have been a mile in the city. That's like the entire city.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Probably because
it was like 6 blocks.
You were in the building.
No, but it was like when I was walking home from work, like I had to show my ID at like every corner to get in.
Got it.
And it was like, and then like walking Romeo, but I was like, oh, it was Theo back then. I was loving the attention. I was like, Ben, I'll walk Theo tonight. He was like, really? Why? You literally never have.
Yeah.
I just like wanted to see what was going on. Like maybe I would be leaving the building the exact time. I met a couple of Secret Service agents. We had some good chats. Did I ever share this on the toast?
I feel like you did. And what are they doing chatting to you?
But what else are they doing? They literally are just standing in the elevators. Oh,
they're busy.
The ones that I was talking to, their job was to like be the elevator button pusher. Like you couldn't push your own buttons even. It was really secure.
Got it.
And I asked them like, so like, I think I said like, what if you
How'd
like,
you get into this
what if your
line of
personal
work?
Politics like disagree with the person you're protecting? He's like, we literally don't give a shit. Like we have a job to do.
Yeah, I think you could ask that question about a lot of people in like government workers, military.
Yeah. They were really nice too. And they gave all the staff in my building like presidential pins and like everyone was so excited. I was like kind of jealous.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it was like a cool thing to be a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is cool.
So like I said, it's very secure. Lots of things need to be done. So I don't know if like Joe Rogan's ranch is approved.
No, I think that it is. One, everyone goes there. And two, like Trump he's the one who's like more mobile right now, like on his plane, jetting here, jetting there. No, like, and so it's like they're on the road. What's one stop in Austin? It can be done.
Yeah.
You know, like she was going to be in Vegas. Like they're just on the move.
Kind of jet setting.
And also, I don't think it would be the same if he wasn't in the studio because Joe Rogan has really never left the studio.
That would be the
Does
crazy
he
thing.
ever leave the studio?
No, I don't think I've ever seen him. And I think he did like once like a South by Southwest pop-up or whatever, and he literally recreated his own studio.
I know you don't watch the reels I send you anymore. But did you watch the reel I sent you that was like a spoof on Joe Rogan? No. It was so funny.
You just been like kind of like take it to the next level in terms of volume.
Just know, like one, it's because I love you.
Of course.
And two,
and you're thinking of me.
These are expertly curated for your personal preferences.
Let me tell you, like a day will come, and we've also been together. So I'm like, she'll probably just tell me in person. Like I will, like a moment will come where I'll sit down and like watch everything I missed all at once, which obviously is not the best way, but it's the way I'm currently surviving.
Well, the concept of the reel was about how like Joe Rogan and his guests will like spoof and like take a joke like really, really far, like just fucking around. And then Joe Rogan will kind of like be like, well, that couldn't happen. Like the person will like give their next like, oh, and then the zombies shoot out lasers. Right,
and then he's like getting
And
real.
then he's like, well, zombies can shoot out lasers. It was funny to me.
We have a great show today. Just let's do a quick run of show, shall we? It's Thursday.
QRS
TUV WXYNZ. No, it's a great day because Thursdays are always really relaxed around here. We're wedged between Wednesday's chaos of Dear Toasters and Friday's drama of Queenie and Weenie. So we just kind of get to relax and unclench today. The stories are like very casual.
They are casual, and it's, aside from Sutton Foster, the rest of the 4 like are pretty interchangeable in a good way, because that's giving like we're all doing our part, like we're all equal players. We all have a lot to contribute. I think we all do sing and we all make news.
I agree. I agree.
I look forward to that.
I look forward to that too.
And then it's also our final show together in Florida, which like I'm sad that you're leaving, but I finally gotten to the place that you're at, which it's like I prefer remote podcasting.
I am so glad to hear that. Like
I always thought you were crazy for saying that. And I always thought it was like your way of like just making it seem like, you know, remote. Better. Like, it's better because it's what we fucking do.
Because it's our only option.
Right. But it's better.
It's better. I'm so glad you've come around. I literally hate podcasting with you in person, and it sucks because I wish I liked it more because I would spend more time here. But like seriously,
no, it's like I need to build you a studio in my house so that
we can still do it separately.
Podcast.
I like the way it looks better remotely. I like the way I perform better remotely. I don't know. I don't fuck with like sitting so close to you.
I agree. However, the plus side of being together is the content for Patreon.
Yeah, no, we really crushed it this week.
We filmed a mukbang last night. Also, I was on the phone with Shannon this morning. Yeah, I was on the phone with Shannon this morning.
Wow.
And I needed to find a way to sneak that in. It was a FaceTime, and Taylor was there too.
Wow.
So I just needed to humble brag for a second.
That's interesting.
And I told her how we mukbanged last night. And she was like, mukbang? It's called a mukbang.
It is called a mukbang, but it's also called...
It is, and I'm like, we've been doing this for 6 years, calling it mukbang, and like, that wasn't even me Majdijaning it.
Well,
like,
the thing is, it's a Korean phrase, I believe. It was invented in Asia. Maybe not Korea. It was invented in Asia. It's like a very popular form of entertainment there. So however we say it, we're probably mispronouncing it. So I think if you want to be like really like indigenous, you could say mukbang. But like the American version is
like we're going harder on the wrong pronunciation.
Mukbang. That's like a really good question.
She looked at me like I had 6 heads, and it wasn't even me like doing the elk of dreamers, where I know I'm using the word wrong.
Mukbang pronunciation.
And mukbang.
Oh, I like this this Google.
Mukbang.
Were they
Mukbang. Thanks, Shannon.
Wow, that's kind of crazy.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's out of that.
We'll see where it goes from here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was on the phone with Shannon. Not a big deal.
Okay, rub it in.
Really not a big. Yeah, I knew you would be jealous.
Of course I am.
I had to bring it up.
Of course I am.
Well, I'm always jealous when you're on the phone with Shannon. So
yeah, because we talk all the time. Should we dive in? We have a lot to get into today.
I think we should. And you have a flight to catch, not feelings. Too. Catching flights, not feelings.
Never. I'm like not emotive at all. Yucky. Well, you do your thing.
Without further ado, here are the Fast 5 stories that you need to know.
And the Fast 5 stories that you need to know are brought to you by Built Rewards. Listen up, renters. Ever feel like you're stuck in this endless loop of rent payments, just watching your money vanish into thin air? Well, it's time to turn that rent game around and start earning some serious rewards, and that's where Built Rewards comes in. So Built is breaking ground as a neighborhood rewards program that hooks you up with points on your rent. That's right. Every month, pay your rent like you normally do, but this time you'll be able to watch the Built points roll in, and then you can use those points to jet off on a dream vacation, put your points towards a flight, a hotel. They have over 500 airline partners and over 700,000 hotel and property partners. You can also use your points to book fitness studio classes, redeem them towards a future rent payment. They're really designed to meet your lifestyle. You can redeem your points however you want, but like the sheer concept that like every month your biggest expense is rent, and it's the one thing like you don't get points for. And if you're into points, like you know how valuable they can be. I love this concept. I am a Built Rewards member. I have been since they first launched. You can pay rent hassle-free through the Built Rewards app. Your rent game just got a major upgrade. They have been consistently ranked the highest value point currency by Bankrate and the Points Guy, and that's like a really trusted source over here at the Toast and also at Built Rewards. So earn points by paying rent, finally. Go to joinbuilt.com/toast. That's joinbuilt, B-I-L-T, joinbilt.com/toast. Make sure to use that link so they know that we sent you. It's joinbuilt.com/toast, joinbilt.com/TOAST to start earning points on your rent payments today. Like finally. Today's episode is also brought to you by No Bull, a training brand created to support you in your daily pursuit of your best self. So No Bull has footwear options for anywhere and everywhere life takes you, no matter what level of fitness you're at. Like you'll be able to find something from No Bull that really works for your lifestyle, whether you just like need comfortable shoes because you walk around a lot during the day and your back hurts or whatever, or like you're super, super active, training for a 5K. Yeah, like very athletic of you. It's really important to have the right type of footwear for your workouts. And with Noble, we have trustworthy options for everything that we need. So with the holiday season coming up and the gift giving spirit, it's like so crazy that it's that time, but like it is. Noble just launched a collection of their best selling prints. We're really big fans of the Noble Drive. That's the shoe that we both wear and that we talk about because it's the perfect hybrid shoe. And sometimes you need a shoe that is versatile enough for any workout. But now you can shop the Noble Drive in more fun, swirly prints. They have a floral pattern. They're really like kind of gargy, no notes. Noble is also just like a cool brand. Like if you want to like give someone a gift and you want them to think well of you, like, oh, she's a cool person. She knows what's going on.
She's got her finger on the pulse
of what's cool and hot, like and what the Toast girls wear. Noble is a great option. And if you have someone in your life who's like really into fitness or like athleisure and just is always looking for like the hot new thing in sports, yeah, Noble.
Yeah, we're keeping up with sports.
We do, much like Lamar Odom. We have a discount too. So if you're going to buy someone a gift, make sure to save yourself some money exclusively for toasters. Noble is offering 30% off your first order. They keep increasing I feel like when we started working with them, it was 15. Now it's 30. So take advantage. Nobleproject.com is their website. Our code is TOAST30. That's NOBULL project.com. Our code is TOAST30. Today's episode is also brought to you by PXG. They are on a mission to create the most high quality performance golf clubs in the game. So they're bringing that same passion for excellence to their new line of apparel, and I gotta say, they really nailed it. Their fall and winter collection is perfect for the course, the office, and everywhere. When I told Ben that PXG was one of our new Toast sponsors, like he was actually impressed. I feel like a lot of times, like I'm doing a lot of impressive things, and like Ben doesn't really notice. And then this PXG package came to my house, and Ben was like, "Where'd you get this? Is this for me?" I'm like, "Actually, no, it's not. It's for me." So he was like really impressed. PXG is just like a really I think reputable brand in the golf space, and their clothing is amazing. So they're made with premium materials and technology designed for peak performance. These confidence-inspiring looks invite all-day play, taking you seamlessly from the course to the office in an evening out. Ever since I have entered the golf space, like it's actually shocking how ugly some of the clothes are. And it's like, God forbid I want to do something before golf or after golf. Like they're just so like golf. PXG is like actually cute clothes that are also like you can golf in. And I actually got Ben some really cute, because one thing about my husband, like he will golf year round. December, doesn't matter. Snowing, who cares? So I got him like some quarter zips, like to keep him warm throughout the non-golf days. So from golf trips to weekend getaways to upcoming holiday parties, these dynamic pieces add versatility and standout style to every occasion. And they have something for everyone. Pants, polos, sweaters, pullovers, joggers, jackets, skirts, totes, hats, really everything you could want. So elevate your style game on and off the course with PXG's Fall Winter 2024 collection. Head over to pxgapparel.com/toast. Use our code TOAST at checkout to save 10% on all apparel. With the holidays coming up, like a golf lover in your life, this is a great place to shop. pxgapparel.com/toast, code TOAST to save 10% on apparel. pxgapparel.com/toast, code TOAST.
Thank you, Code Turt.
Just an absolute pleasure to be here with you today. Dirt.
Are you ready for our first story? I know you were born ready for this.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Sutton Foster files for divorce from her husband of 10 years, Ted Griffin, amid relationship rumors with Hugh Jackman.
I had not heard these rumors.
Me neither. So Sutton Foster, who's the star of Younger, has filed for divorce from Ocean's 11 screenwriter Ted Griffin. Okay, good to know that that's what he does.
You know, and who knew that she had like this kind of high profile businessman beau in the industry husband? Yeah. Like I'm learning so much about her, and I actually like ship. It's giving Charles.
I mean, it is giving Charles. Amid buzz that she's moving on with her former Music Man co-star Hugh Jackman. So yeah, so many things about Sutton Foster that you wouldn't expect. Like she was in Younger. She actually is the age of the character, even though she looked a lot younger.
She looks amazing. She is also like one of the most world-renowned Broadway actresses like of our time, singing, dancing, the whole thing.
Yes, and then she was in a revival of The Music Man on Broadway with Hugh Jackman, and I remember when that was happening.
It was just recently, and rave reviews. Like everyone in New York was like, you have to go, you have to go. Obviously I didn't, I hate Broadway.
However, at the time, Hugh Jackman was married to, of course, Deb Furness. My Debs, he would call her. A few years ago, we reported that they had split, even though they were together. They were one of those Hollywood couples that like, she actually was older than him. They were together forever. She was like a producer behind the scenes, and they just seemed like solid as a rock. You
never worried about them. That's why the news was shocking. Was it a few years ago?
It was a while ago.
It was a while ago, yeah. I want to say like maybe 2 years.
Right. And then now Sutton has filed for divorce, and rumors that the marriage was on the rocks began swirling in Broadway circles when she was starring in The Music Man with Hugh Jackman, apparently. But of course, I would have dismissed that all as Huey because, of course, two beautiful,
good-looking,
talented people are going to gravitate towards each other, and like you're going to just make something that out of nothing.
Yeah, but now,
however, multiple sources have told Page Six, which would be the publication for this because it's a Broadway thing, that the two have fallen in love.
And if that's the case, like I ship so hard. First of all, we absolutely love to see an age-appropriate relationship in Hollywood. They are so few and far between that when they are here, no matter, even if like there was an overlap, like maybe someone cheated, like I don't give a shit. We need to like seriously encourage behavior like this. We need to give them all the love and all the follows and all the likes, because people should be encouraged to date people their own age in this industry. So that's for one.
Yeah, he's 56, she's 49. And at this point, like, you can't stop fate. Like, if these two were destined to fall in love on the set of The Music Man, like, it was gonna happen, and everyone needs to get out of the way.
No, and I think that, like, you know, you hear this and people are automatically like cheaters, right? But I think that like meeting someone that you're really taken by, that doesn't automatically mean you're like fucking, like, but it can plant seeds of doubt. And you're like, well, I shouldn't be feeling this way about someone if I was so solid in my marriage. So like, there is a way to go about it that's like respectful.
And I think like a years long thing like this is the best way to go about it. Like, obviously, seeds of doubt were planted for him. Well, not obviously. Who knows what the fuck happened?
Yeah, all this could
like,
be fake too.
He and his wife split like a few years ago. Like, maybe because he saw that like he has stronger feelings for Sutton and like he shouldn't feel that way, so he left the relationship, and now maybe Sutton is like coming to the same conclusion. Whatever it is.
No, and there's like only a couple of pictures of them together, Sutton and Hugh Jackman, from like promo that aren't like on the stage, like on a red carpet. And like, everyone keeps using the same one where they're like hugging each other and like smiling at the camera cheek to cheek. Do you see it?
Yeah.
It's a photo that's filled with love.
It is. However, it's also like a photo that you would take like with your platonic
castmate who you love. Like,
right.
Yeah.
I hope that it's love here. Also, a fun fact about this story that's neither here nor there, but important, is that she picked out her wedding dress to Ocean's 11 on Say Yes to the Dress.
I don't believe you.
It's right here in black and white. She picked out her wedding dress on TLC's Say Yes to the Dress when they got married.
I just feel like they really didn't need to put that in the article. Like, but like, I'm glad
As
they
I said,
did.
this story is layered.
Sutton Foster is layered. I also feel like Sutton Foster's so cool because she's someone who had like a peak and like a real breakout moment in her career much later than you would think. And I think like maybe it was like discouraging or whatever, but she was known in like more artsy circles before Younger.
Yeah.
But Younger really put her on the scene.
But like, remember a few years ago when we were in Utah and we were watching like the Mormon Tabernacle Choir at Christmas? It was just like what was on local TV, and it was really beautiful. And then the lead singer was Sutton Foster.
Yeah, and she's not even Mormon. I think they just like paid her to show up.
Because she's like a beautiful singer.
Yeah, she's like
a
great.
There's Liza.
She's a great talent.
There's Liza.
That was like maybe one flaw in the movie. Why was her name Liza? I mean, in the show Younger. She didn't look like Eliza, and she was like a suburban mom. Like,
I think
her
Liza
name wasn't Liza.
Is multi-generational, and also it's like derivative of Elizabeth. So maybe when she was born, she was called Elizabeth. Maybe later she was Liza when she was trying to make it like cool,
maybe,
and younger.
Lizzie. Well, I for one really hope all of this is true, and like, even if it's not, I'm so glad like this story brought me things that I didn't know I needed to know, like Sutton Foster's private life. And also when I first saw the story, it took me a couple of seconds because I thought I just was reading, it said Sutton Foster, but I was reading Sutton Strack. And I was like, wait, I kind of ship.
I saw it with the photo. And I've always known, did you know that they were in The Music Man on Broadway?
Yes.
Like, I've always known that. Weirdly, I hadn't forgotten that fact. I don't think my brain wanted me to forget.
For a reason.
And so I was like, took a few years, but here we are.
No, I love it so much. And I feel like, you know, because the entire time we've known Hugh Jackman, he's been married, and the only real like rumors about him were ever like that he's gay, and that's just because he like sings and dances for a living, like no other proof. So I'm glad he's like having like a swirly moment with like a rumor, you know? Like, we love that for him. We've never had that.
Yeah, we haven't. We haven't. So I'm just gonna let these two like take it from here. I feel like they probably feel the need to like let some time pass.
Yeah.
But no, don't let the grass grow under your feet. Like,
You just know
we're
like
ready.
we are comfortable
We are ready.
seeing PDA, paparazzi pictures, like go, leave the house.
And you know, like life is short, and these two are in
The later seasons of their life.
the later seasons. There's no time to waste on
It's
your
true.
happiness.
It's so true. That's beautiful.
And like, you already put in the time of waiting in the last few years. Like, seriously, come out.
No, by the way, I need a reality show docuseries. Like, I'm obsessed with these two.
Are you ready for our next story?
Like, I guess if it's not Sutton and Hugh, like who gives a rip? But yeah.
It's one of our favorite discussions, like topics of discussion. Tailored Jason Travis podcast.
Yeah. I love this.
Because Jason Kelce is denying falling asleep at the Taylor Swift Eras Tour show in Miami. And I feel a real kinship to him in this moment.
Of course you do. He was attacked online.
He was attacked online for something that he didn't do. And it had to do with, you know,
The Eras Tour.
the Eras Tour. And then he clarified on his podcast.
Literally you this week.
classic us.
Oh, and then I want to say something, but yeah.
So Jason Kelce denied falling asleep at the Eras Tour show in Miami on Friday after a viral photo showed him appearing to doze off from his VIP box at the Hard Rock Stadium. Travis asked him, "You took a nap at Eras Tour. What's that all about?" And he immediately shut down his brother's assumption, telling him he did not take a nap. He said, "Travis, you know I did not take a nap. I did not take a nap. That's my plate." He said that the show was electric. They had a box because they brought the whole family. It was Donna's first time. The girls were going, so they were like, let's bring everyone. Let's get a box. But I guess they didn't realize that like the box that they got was really in the middle of things. Like there was no privacy. So he was, you know, dancing, singing, everything up on his feet, but he needed a break. And he said that he sat down and shut his eyes because it's something that he used to do like when he was in jazz band and like just really feel the music. And you can even see in the photo that his hand is hovering above his leg because he's like in the mid
patting and like bopping his knee up and down.
So he said, I was not sleeping. I was just like feeling the music in the way that I do. And Travis like did corroborate, like you do that.
Yeah.
But he had like a negative experience with like people attacking him for not being into the Eras Tour enough, which I can relate to.
And to be completely honest, I saw the craziest TikTok. I sent it to you yesterday of these two swirlies who are podcasters who went to the Eras Tour at Miami the same weekend as us. And they were talking about the tour and then they did a whole part on their segment, how the entire night was ruined by their attempt to leave the concert. They must have left at the very end. And they said the way they described it, like I had never felt better about us getting out of Dodge 15 minutes early. She said they walked 3 miles. Nobody at the facility knew where anyone was supposed to go. So they would ask someone, they'd say, oh, walk this way. They'd walk a mile and then they'd meet someone else. They said, no, that way. Like complete disarray in their heels. Literally, she said we were like on the side of the road in the pitch black, like on the interstate, freaking out, like so scared, hysterically crying.
And they
like,
said a lot of people were walking on the side of the road.
Oh, yeah.
And the stadium like is right off the highway. So that's just not safe.
No, and the way they were describing it, like it reminded me of the last, like, was it maybe 2 times ago I went to Luke Combs. We ended up leaving, Gillette. And we left at the end, but we left like through the wrong entrance. Like I don't know where the hell we were because we had these like backstage passes and we just like went out some random door and we were in the pitch black, like on these scary roads. There was nobody there. We were so afraid no Ubers could come behind us because every single road was closed. It was me, Margot, and Emily. Like we were, and it was raining. We're crying, walking in the rain in so much pain. Like we literally got lost.
And it was raining for Eras too.
Yeah. And it reminded me of that. And I remember, and I was the oldest out of like Margot and Emily. So I was the one who had to like be in charge. Nobody was more scared than me. Like pitch black in the middle of Boston. I don't know where the fuck I am. We're like walking these streets, not a single car, like so fucking scary. And the way they were describing it on this podcast reminded me so much of that, but honestly worse.
Yeah, no, it sounded like everything we were trying to avoid by just leaving a few mere songs early.
Yeah.
A few mere. Yeah, no, I have to reach out to those girls and say thank you for just
validating.
Yeah.
But back to Jason Kelce. So first of all, like this is like a funny saga, but I also think the way he responded on his podcast, I was cracking up watching the clip. Like who knew Jason Kelce was in jazz band?
Right.
We got to get him on stage at the Eras Tour next.
Like who knew that Jason Kelce like has these like meditation practices that we could all really try and learn from.
That's the thing about Jason Kelce. Like he's kind of like an onion.
Yeah.
And a podcast is such a great platform for someone like that.
Yeah.
Because every episode we're learning new things about him.
It's true.
And it was like really funny. They were like talking, and I like how he also said like I needed a break. Like you could see like everyone around us, and at every show I've been to, like has their break songs, whether it's like going to the bathroom, getting a snack, or just like sitting down and resting your feet. Because so many of the girlies in specific, like they spend months getting their outfits ready, and they're like wearing the most uncomfortable shits, like Spanx, heels, and you need a break. And so even to see like a person who's in really great physical shape and who is a man who's just wearing like sneakers, him also needing a break, like it felt validating.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really funny.
It was really funny.
And I think the person who took the picture is actually his friend.
Yes, and they were talking about the person who took the picture like on a first name basis.
Yeah, and Jason was like, seriously, fuck you, Bo. And Travis was like, no, that's a good friend. They're just like funny. Then they also like don't give a shit, and that's really nice.
It's refreshing.
But as long as the Lurd wasn't offended.
Of course she wasn't offended. Like it's just absurd. The Swifties came so hard for Jason Kelce. I think that was also kind of the first time any of them have experienced that side of the Swift, because it's all fun when everybody loves you. Yeah. Travis, yeah. And then, oh wait, you're sleeping at our girl's concert? Like, hate. And so to see that side of the fandom probably like spooked them a little bit.
Yeah. There was a lot of drama at Eras Miami, wouldn't you say, after all?
By the way, I would say there was a lot of drama at Eras Miami. And I have to say, I was thinking about this the other day because I feel like a lot of people, there are people who don't like Taylor and they don't like have their reasons, right? They just are like, oh, she wrote songs about her boyfriends, like idiotic. But I think a lot of the times people's dislike for Taylor like is mistaken for a dislike for her fans, because there are like most of her fans are like normal people who just enjoy her music, but like any fandom, but she is the biggest fandom. So she has the most of those sort of like toxic ones. And I think a lot of times like people end up not liking Taylor because they think like that's what all of her fans are like, and they think that's what she's like. And they just like, you get that association from that pocket of your fans. And where was I going with this?
I don't know, but I have a point to raise.
Sure.
Which it's that what's so funny and what's like so ugly about the internet. It's like when you go to a Taylor Swift concert, there's actually nothing more beautiful than like all the Swiftie energy and like the love and the trading of the bracelets, and none of that internet ugliness is there whatsoever. It's actually the sweetest place on earth.
So true.
And then everyone all of a sudden gets behind the screen as a keyboard warrior, and that's where the ugliness happens. And it's just a reminder, like, get off the internet.
By the way, it's so true. Like the Eras Tour is like a culmination of just true joy and like real girlhood. I know it's like for everyone, but like, so we were saying like so many mothers and daughters, it was so sweet. And like, it really is this like IRL moment of joy and positivity and colors and music, and really just, it's not like it's just like sweet. It's for kids, like it's kid friendly. And yes, some of the discourse online, but that's all things, but because Taylor's community is so big.
No, but that's just like a perfect like way to see, like, yeah, you could make that case about other things, but here's one.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
And do it that way you will. Mm-hmm. That's why Turdy's putting her phone down.
That's why I'm putting my phone down. Like, I'm kind of over it.
I'm with you, but it's just, I told you my lesson from you and people are like, it's our family chat that keeps me addicted.
So true. For me, it's TikTok.
Oh,
because when I was talking about that mental and physical like sickness,
you should, like, do a TikTok week without TikTok, just once. Just try, like, just.
You want to know why I can't?
Why?
Because nobody would miss me.
No, not about like you not posting. And honestly, like you could make content and like send it to someone to post, but like delete TikTok from your phone for 1 week. Okay, see how you feel. And you know, it might just be like an interesting experiment, like for the toast. Like, tell us what happened.
You know what? Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah. Not right now, but like maybe in a few days.
Okay. I know, you're taking a flight.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Our next story is actually semi-related to our second story.
What number story?
3.
Okay.
Matty Healy is revealing why he's not interested in writing about romantic liaisons after his tailored split.
And like, I'm frankly not interested in hearing about Matt Healy. Like,
I know
the way he talks is so dreadful and British and like not substantial.
Don't bring the British into this because they're actually like beautiful orators.
It's true.
And those are the best shows. They have the best writing. Like, it actually is
intellects.
Like nothing to do with the British.
Okay, fine.
And everything to do with Matty Healy.
Yeah.
So during an appearance on Joshua Cittarella's podcast called Doom Scroll,
me.
he revealed his thoughts on writing songs about previous relationships. He said, "Last year I became a way more well-known public figure for loads of reasons. The only reason that I was interested in is kind of like what I was doing. So I think that a lot of artists, they become very interested in their lore. They become interested in the things that have happened outside of their art that people know about, and they want to address that. And fair enough. Do you know what I mean?"
No.
I guess I get what he's saying right now up until this point.
Okay.
Then he said that he was more open to writing about heartbreak and all these stories about relationships on the first record, but he doesn't feel the need to do that anymore. Quote, "I would kind of just be lying if I made a record about, I don't know, all the stuff that was said about me or my casual romantic liaisons or whatever it may be that I've kind of become known for just because I was famous. I think that that's an obvious thing to draw from, and I'm just not interested in it. And I think like the maintenance of the status quo is something that I always fight against." So yeah, that's where I'm lost.
But he's basically saying like it's so pedestrian to like write music about other people that you've dated who are famous. Like it's a low hanging fruit type of thing.
Yeah. He said, so
meanwhile, up until this point, that's exactly what he said. He's a musician who writes about love.
He's not just talking about the relationship, which by the way, he called like casual
3 separate times.
Right. Which is rude.
Yeah.
He's also talking about the experience of being this like public figure, disliked person, the experience of having an album written about him. Like then he would write a retort to like how that made him feel. Like similar to how Reputation is not about a love, it's about an incident. Mm-hmm. And he's saying that he doesn't have interest in writing responding about like these incidents that took place in the public, that's not what music he wants to write. He said, so the idea of making a record about something that personally happened to me, that by the time I put it out is going to be like 2 years old. I see people doing that as well, and it's not interesting. So this is just like insult after insult.
Because the thing is, like, say what you want. Yeah, people do it and they release things like 3 years. It's still interesting. Sorry. Like, I like it. It's giving very like condescending, like, oh, I know other people do that, but like, I'm better than that.
Yeah. No, and it is, if he wanted to say his side of the story in an album 3 years later, like I think people would be paying attention. It would be interesting. And I guess he's saying that that's not the stuff he wants to make music about.
Okay.
Like we
really don't care what you do. Like,
Yeah. Plus, don't forget, like, now he's engaged.
Yeah, to
that
that
girl.
Lisa Rinna's daughter's twin.
Lisa Rinna's daughter's twin, Charlie XCX's friend.
I don't know if they're friends. Charlie XCX dates for a long time another member of his band, 1975.
Oh, so they should be friends.
They probably are. Her name is Gabrielle, the girl that
I thought
Maddie's.
it's Gabriette.
Oh, maybe it is. Maybe I just like saw the word I wanted to say, you know?
Yeah, but I think it's Gabriette.
And there's like drama with
She
her.
has a lot of friends. I feel like I
there's
always
drama
see her.
with Gabriette and Amelia Hamlin.
Gabriette was hanging out with Nara Smith at Fashion Week in Milan.
Oh, I wouldn't, an unlikely duo.
Right?
Yeah, well, there's beef between her and Amelia Hamlin.
They being twins.
Well, they said like Amelia, who like has went through a bit of a physical transformation in recent years, is really similar, like style, makeup, like everything to Gabriette. They say she just, and like talks like Gabriette. They say she like is like single white female in Gabriette.
Like Kendall and Jace Murray.
Correct.
Understood.
Back to Matty Healy, like literally we don't care. And especially like you were never going to be seen as the hero in this situation. Like keep calling it casual. Say it again, like I'll kill you. It's so fucking rude. But also now with like Travis being in the mix, it's like seriously, like stop talking. Like it's giving.
He could eat you for breakfast.
Right.
Okay?
And it's like we all moved on so quickly from you because Travis did that for us. Like,
and actually, the only way out of this mess is not to keep doing things like this.
Yeah.
But to put out an album or a body of work, whether it's like a book or anything, where you explain yourself. Like, other than that, we don't want to hear from you about this unless you have like any sort of side of the story that's different than what we have heard, which of course there is going to be on his side.
And that's fine, but like he keeps dismissing and really gaslighting Taylor, like casual. Meanwhile, these are people who have been linked to one another for years. There's nothing casual about seeing someone multiple times over the course of your young adult life, like all throughout your 20s. It's actually so fucking like rude and belittling to keep saying casual. He didn't even say relationships, like casual flings or whatever. Like shut up. It's actually so rude.
Yeah. And I also feel like, No. It's not a whole thought.
Okay.
It's not a whole thought.
I feel that.
Not worth putting out
Never
there.
stopped me, but yeah.
It's just not worth putting out there.
I love that.
Are you ready for our next story?
No.
Now you're not ready.
No, I am not. Thank you so much.
It's definitely something you want to get ready for because it's a story in 2 parts.
Well, is it a story in 2 parts that's brought to you by GNC?
It is.
GLP-1 medications, they're great for weight loss, you know, changing lives, left, right, and center, mine included. All the possible side effects can be a major obstacle for a lot of people. And that's why GNC is here with support for the journey, offering high-quality nutritional solutions and lifestyle advice to help people through these issues and reaching their weight loss goals. So when you are going off of a GLP-1 medication, which I did at one point, like what's your number one concern? Obviously, it's like the number one question you get. Like, aren't you worried you're going to gain the weight back? Obviously. Yeah, obviously I'm worried about that.
It's a concern.
So if there's one thing to be ready for, it's life after the medication. That means cravings and increasing your appetite. It really will all come back, but it's important to not give up on enjoying what you like to eat. So be ready with top-rated meal GNC Total Lean replacement bars and shakes, satisfying protein snacks, and more. Another solution is GNC's #1 glucotrim supplement. It has a track record of proven weight loss and does not require a prescription. When combined with healthy diet and exercise, glucotrim is proven to help you lose nearly 12 pounds, with results starting as little as 2 weeks. So the bottom line is that there are solutions for life after GLP-1, and like you can do it. Like you literally can. Okay. Literally me to myself in the mirror every morning. Like you can. Be ready to discontinue your GLP-1 by going in prepared. And if you're looking for low calorie, hunger satisfying foods and drinks, check out GNC Total Lean. You'll love all the amazing flavors and the 25% discount that we got for you. Only when you go to gnc.com/toast. Use our code TOAST25 for 25% off all GNC Total Lean. That's TOAST25. Today's episode is also brought to you by Fatty 15. We're really excited to share with you guys an incredible scientific breakthrough to support long-term health and wellness. C15 is the first essential fatty acid to be discovered in 90 years. And get this, studies have confirmed that it's 3 times better, broader, and safer than omega-3. And Fatty 15 and its co-founder, Dr. Stephanie Van Watson, discovered C15 as the first essential fatty acid to be found in over 90 years. So it's pretty simple. Central nutrients keep your cells healthy, and that keeps you healthy. So if you want to get really sciencey about it, studies show that C15 work by strengthening your cells, improving your mitochondrial function, and protecting you against damaging free radicals. And the results are better long-term metabolic, liver, and heart health. Fatty 15 and the C15 is 3 times more cellular benefits than omega-3 or fish oil. They are made from patented, pure, and oxidation-resistant C15 powder derived from plants. It's vegan-friendly, free of flavors, fillers, allergens, and preservatives. C15 is the only only ingredient in Fatty 15. It is 100% pure. C15 can work in multiple ways. It can help repair age-related damage to cells, protect them from future breakdowns, boost mitochondrial energy output, and activate pathways in the body that help regulate your sleep, mood, and natural repair mechanisms that will support your overall health. So it comes in a gorgeous reusable glass/bamboo jar. The refill capsules are shipped to your door quarterly in pouches made from recycled materials. Fatty 15 is essentially on a mission to replenish your C15 levels and restore your long-term health. You can get an additional 15% off their 90-day subscription starter kit by going to fatty15.com/toast. Use our code TOAST at checkout. That's fatty15.com/TOAST. Our code is TOAST, TOAST. Today's episode is also brought to you by Peloton. Convenient, fabulous, everything. So Peloton has a variety of training programs: Pilates, boxing, marathon prep, strength training, boot camps, yoga, meditation. There are so many ways to challenge yourself. I feel like everybody knows Peloton, the bike and the classes, and we love that. But there are also so many other things Peloton has to offer. I've actually done a lot of their arm workouts, like when I'm at a gym that like doesn't do anything for me and I don't know like what to do next. Opening the Peloton app and having like Peloton on your phone is so fabulous. It's so convenient. So they have like a workout for whatever mood you're in and really whatever setting that you're in. So if you're looking for an early morning run, a guided hike through the late nights, Peloton has you covered no matter what mood you're in or how you want to move. So challenge yourself or don't. They have classes that challenge you to try new things, push yourself, like marathon training and boot camps, but they also have a variety of classes to help you relax, like walks and meditations. When I first started getting into running, the first thing I did was doing some of the Peloton classes with like walking/running. They had like different hikes. They have really good music to get you like motivated, but also it's just really good entry. I like that they have different levels. Like I never run before in my life. And I just love that like it was really accessible and I didn't feel like embarrassed or like I couldn't do most of what the class was. Like I was able to tackle, let's say 80%. So find your push, find your power with Peloton. Do so at onepeloton.com. That's ONEPELOTON, onepeloton.com.
Thank you, One Chert.
You're welcome, One Chert.
Our next story, it's a little Kardashian news. Couple things. The Kardashian-Jenner family hosted a Wicked screening with Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo and all of the kids. So Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo gave the Kardashian-Jenner clan a taste of Oz during a special VIP screening of their highly anticipated movie, Wicked. Kim posted to her Instagram story showing a glimpse into the special event, hosted at her house with most of the grandkids and all of the girls except for Kendall. I saw that funny comment.
Designated survivor. They can't all be in one room at once. But seriously, where was Kendall? Like, why wouldn't she want to watch us?
I think it was for the kids. And so all the moms were there like with their kids, but like she's not going to go out of her way to like watch a movie.
But why? Like, I guess this isn't for us. It's like the coolest thing, right? Like, if someone would just fucking show me Wicked right now, like I'd be so excited. For her, it's just like another day in the life.
Yeah, like maybe if she was free, she would have gone, but she's not going to cancel her plans.
Yeah, I guess
for like this special treat.
Okay, for the kids, this is like the coolest thing ever. Obviously, they decked it out like pink and green and balloons and snacks and popcorn and signs, like so cool. But I actually saw such an interesting tweet this morning that was like it was quote tweeting the pop crave thing, and actually it was from Tyler Oakley, like throwback, the YouTuber, and he was like, the fact that like the overwhelming response to this is negative like really feels like it's marking a cultural shift. Like people hated this, like, oh, it's entitlement, oh, these kids are rats, like they just hated everything about this, which I found so shocking because like to me, like maybe there was a time where I would have seen this picture and like gagged and died. Like no, I thought it was really cute and like sweet. I didn't have like a visceral hatred reaction to it, but the internet did.
I don't understand why this is surprising. Like not about the internet, that also shouldn't be surprising, but like the Kardashians always get like early access to movies. They have like big movie-thons in their backyard and they do like cool things. They always have like characters that they like from Trolls coming to the house. Like why is this so crazy?
Different, like, and Ariana and Kim, like I don't know if they're friends, but over the years they've like acknowledged one another.
But then
like,
there's Pete.
Yeah, but in a positive way. Like it's all good. Like and they support R.E.M. Beauty and Skims. Like they're always hyping each other up. I find it surprising that like Cynthia would be a part of this because I feel like Cynthia she's like a theater kid, right? She would like hate the Kardashians, like so mainstream. Like I found that like Ariana and Ariana and Cynthia's involvement, like the fact that they had a screening like isn't shocking, and if the official Wicked company sent them like snacks, like that's not shocking, but Cynthia like and Ariana watching the movie with them, like these kids, like I find that part a little shocking. No,
that they would want to, I guess, but a lot of people really love them. And I think also when you're in Hollywood and like you actually have met them and like they were all at the Met Gala, so say that they've met, like I think people really like them on a personal level.
I think so too.
And you like can't hate them once you actually know them.
Right. They're like cool and fun and family oriented and like oddly a little bit normal, like beyond, you know, obviously like being billionaires. But
so nothing about this is surprising to me except for the fact that people were surprised by this.
Yeah, no, and people hated it.
And that it's like a big deal. And that why would you hate something like this?
I don't know, like for those kids, that's probably so sick.
They probably don't even realize they're seeing it early. It's not like even like they could go to the movie theater next week, but they're
this is just like things that happen to them frequently. It's not like
they see movies at home.
Yeah. It's so cute.
It is really cute.
So many kids.
Yeah, and this isn't even all of them. This is mostly the girls, and then two of the little boys who like, you know, but like Mason's not there, Rain's not there.
Right. I don't think Mason would like want to see Wicked. No, it's seriously like the cutest thing. And who's this guy?
That's
Frankie Grande's husband. So like even Ariana brought her family. Like it's surprising. Now I saw this clip of Cynthia Erivo. Rolling Stones, I don't know if it's like new. They copied Variety's like actors on actors. They do musicians on musicians where they like pair two random musicians and they just talk about like life in the industry. And so Cynthia Erivo was paired with Renee Rapp, and Cynthia Erivo is talking about like what her aesthetic and like her vibe is when she records music in the studio. And she was basically saying like she's taken so seriously, like no alcohol is allowed in the studio, just her, the piano guy, and the sound engineer. And Renee Rapp, who obviously like does things so differently, is just sort of like listening, being like, okay, that's cool. Her reaction, she's like actually actively disassociating. It's so funny to watch. And Cynthia Erivo like seriously sounds dreadful in it. Like she's just like so serious. And I'm like, okay, like
serious Erivo?
Serious Erivo, yeah.
That doesn't, I like people who are serious. I do. And I don't mind when people take themselves seriously if like what they are doing is serious. And I feel like she's like a serious vocalist.
Yeah, and she is.
And I like when people take things seriously.
Me too. But just like, it was like a little like, okay, you know?
Yeah.
Another thing about this picture, obviously everybody's wearing custom Skims. That's like a wicked green. Ari's wearing the pink. And the kids are wearing definitely like Skims kids. It's so cute. Did you see Kris Jenner? Actually, my friends from high school put it in the chat. We were cracking up. Did you see what Kris Jenner wore for Halloween?
No.
I already saw her getting dressed up, you know? She was like Snow White, and she was like kind of wearing like a really sexy Snow White. I was like really shocked to see, because she was like with her grandkids. So it was like grandma is, you know, Snow White. And it was just like a little, you know.
Was that promo for that movie?
Look. Like, and swipe through the...
Yeah.
And by the way, she looks great.
She does look great, but it's giving,
she doesn't look like anyone's grandma.
The costume from like ycandy.com.
Correct. Dolls Kill.
Sexy Snow White.
Dolls Kill.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
That is funny.
I'll switch with you.
Switch back. And then the second part of this story is a new SKIMS campaign that dropped with Olivia Munn in honor of like Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Olivia Munn is bearing her mastectomy scars in the new SKIMS campaign.
Oh my God, I loved this so much. Like I actually oddly felt like deeply moved by it. And Olivia Munn shared the story of how it came to be and actually really liked the way it unfolded. SKIMS did not come to her being like, let's exploit you for breast cancer awareness. Show your scars. It was just supposed to be like a regular campaign, like nothing having to do. And I think maybe they decided that like a portion of the proceeds, because it was October, would go to breast cancer awareness. And then it was Olivia Munn's idea to bear her scars because she has this like really complicated relationship with them. Like she used to love her boobs and now they're just like a reminder of this trauma, but she had this shift that was like, no, they're a reminder of like everything that I've been through and how strong I am. And like so many women are so ashamed of them that like maybe if they saw one on a billboard, like it wouldn't be that big of a deal. And so the fact that it was like all her idea, I loved so much. And I like honestly was like deeply touched by this campaign.
Yeah, it really is beautiful and has a beautiful story behind it. And I actually think it's something that would move the needle to make other women just feel more comfortable.
I completely agree. Like I think a lot of times people do stuff that's like so performative. They're like, it's going to help people. I actually think it's not.
You're just helping yourself.
No, it's so true. But I actually, and Olivia Munn didn't say like, I want to help people. Like, I just think she will help people by doing this. And she looks so gorgeous and her boobs look amazing. Like, and I love Olivia Munn these days. Like I'm obsessed with her. And I think that like this actually will move the needle. Yes.
Yeah. Really sweet and just great on all fronts.
Yeah. Agreed. Approved.
Are you ready for our fifth and final story?
I am.
It wouldn't be a fifth and final story without there being some Rachel Ray news.
Oh my God, what is our swirly getting into?
Rachel Ray is in the news cycle now because she has her new podcast and she's making it work.
Right.
So she's talking on her new podcast and giving a concerning health update weeks after the Slurring Words Instagram video. So she revealed on her debut episode of her podcast called I'm Sleep When I'm Dead, not called 30-Minute Combos.
Literally the worst title ever.
that she recently suffered a couple bad falls, but didn't go into more detail. She said, and Jenny Mullen was the guest on her first episode.
Okay.
She said, I'm a homemaker. I love chores. I love being in the kitchen. I always work with my brain every day. I'm always writing something, but I really like chores. I like what people consider physical work, making dinners, planning dinners, making lists. I actually have a lot in common with Rachel Ray. Anyway, she said, I've had a couple bad falls in the last couple of weeks, so I haven't been doing that in a while. She,
does that necessarily like have to do with the video?
I think that's like her alluding to it.
Okay. Because she looked physically fine in the video. It didn't look like she had taken a tumble.
Yeah.
It was more, it kind of felt cerebral.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I don't know.
No, I'm telling you, something is up with Rachel Ray.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is not.
But like then she does a podcast and like when something's up with you, you don't start a podcast because you have to lay bare your life.
You don't invite in, and she's not someone who needs to stay relevant, needs money. Like she has an empire. She's set for life.
Yeah.
So like this is a choice. You're doing a podcast because you want to, not because you have to. And yeah, I don't know. This answers no questions for me. It just creates more.
And I do feel like I should listen to the podcast in order to get like a full 360 picture of Miss Rach.
And also like, how is she talking on the podcast? Is she slurring like she wasn't?
Probably not, because that would be news. I think she had like a bad day and she was wanting to make ossobuco.
Okay. I mean, we've all been there.
Yeah.
You ever just like give up and want to make ossobuco? Like all the time.
Yeah. But then like, why do you have a couple falls like in one short period?
Right. It's giving.
Claudia at a party?
Drunk. Well, yeah, drunk. Yeah, Claudia at a party. Like you, grown adults with their motor skills intact, like don't take multiple falls unless there's, you're impaired in some way, whether that be alcohol or whether you have a physical disability. But she isn't. I don't know. Like who just? Yes, I fall all the time when I'm wearing my big clunky shoes and I'm taking tequila shots.
When you're
like
drunk.
Yeah, like it leads one to think.
Yeah. So anyways, I should listen to the podcast like if I want to continue to speak on Rachel Ray. Can't promise I'm going to do it, which means what? I don't get to talk about her?
The thing is, I don't want to continue to speak about Rachel Ray, but she's making it really hard.
I like talking about her. I think she's like a fun pop culture
I feel like I say this every
point of reference.
Every time we bring her up, but like the open secret about Rachel Ray is like she's the nastiest woman alive. Like
You've never said that.
Oh my God, they say all alleged, like she is evil.
What?
Like don't look me in the eyes type of thing.
What?
That's what they say.
That's really crazy.
I know.
That's really shocking. Not that she pretends to like be like so jolly,
Susie Homemaker.
but like where do you get off?
Yeah, no, but where she gets off is the fact that she's literally a billionaire.
Yeah, I guess so. But like, was she always that way before? I guess you can't.
No, she's been in this industry for a really long time. Like she probably just like started to think her shit didn't stink and everything was coming up Rachel and then the talk show and the pet line and the home line.
So do you think that this is kind of like
a redemption arc for Rachel Ray?
Like that things are gonna like, I don't know. I feel like maybe people are turning on her. Like the fact that people did call out.
I think this is like her Ellen moment.
Maybe the beginning of something.
Maybe.
I've never heard that. Where did you hear that?
Like from literally everyone.
Everyone's talking about it?
Yeah. Let's give them something to talk about.
I mean, if you were trying to make like veal parmesan in 30 minutes, like wouldn't you kind of be stressed a crazy also. Bitch too?
You would also be stressed. Yeah.
It's
no,
not
fair.
meant to be done. That's the thing.
Yeah, no, they gave her like this sort of daunting task over at Food Network and she's never recovered.
Yeah, like you can make a 30-minute meal if you're on crack.
It's so true.
It's just like, it's not a great
feasible.
It's an impossible task.
Well, that's a wrap on Toasty Florida HQ
Yeah,
for
like
me.
a little jaunt to Florida. I'm
headed to the airport, so like I said, that's why I look so ugly. Thank you so much for listening to the Toast on Monday Morning Show, where we deliver the fast 5 stories that you need to know every Monday through Friday on YouTube. So if you're watching us on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. We're also available as podcasts anywhere podcasts can be found. So that's Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Public Radio, iHeartRadio, CastBox, all the places where visit a podcast. And also Toast, leave a 5-star review about how beautiful, stunning, and wickedly talented we are. We love you dearly, and we will see you tomorrow back where we belong.
Back
where we belong.
Love ya. Bye.